Welcome back to my recovery. This is Chameleon again. You know, the only person that runs this channel, right? Last time we talked about, I told you a story about a person I know, and we ended on basically me telling you a little bit of what my feelings was throughout my addiction, and what I ended was with that everything is really how we look at things, right? It's the term for it is actually called perception, I believe. It's our perception, of reality, or perception of looking at things. Um, it's funny. I'm gonna tell you this thing is it's really funny because when I was in college, I went to and studied psychology because I wanted to understand what I was going through on a deeper level, and I learned a lot in that class. But one of the things I learned was, our brain doesn't stop developing until we're in the 20s. Sometimes even mid 20s before it actually the frontal lobe actually starts stops developing and gets done. Um, and the weird thing about it is that drugs have a that's where they attack is right here. And that this part of our brain right here is liable for feeling empathy. And it's really surprising to me that perception isn't taught in school more. We don't teach it to our kids that often. It's really more of a thing that people just learn on their own. And it's sad because it's really important to know this, right? It's really important to know what other people are going through, like empathy. It's really, really important to know empathy. And I always make this comment to my family all the time that, I'm old now, getting old anyways, and I've never met one other person that has shown me that they empathize with other people. Not one person, not one other person. Um, I mean, it's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. I mean, every adult, like I said, whenever this frontal lobe gets done and gets functioning, you're supposed to have the ability to empathize with every other person in this world. And empathy, by the way, is stepping in the person's shoes, trying to understand what they're going through, trying to not feel sorry for them, but to look at it from their side, right? Look at it from their perspective, and and so it's just surprising that all adults have this ability, and it's something that we gain through wisdom, through years of being on this earth. And I've never met any other individual that actively showed me that they empathize with anybody they meet in this world. And you know, that's sad. I mean, that's crazy to me. I just I don't I can't turn mine off. That's one of my main big problems. Is that I do it too much. Like I empathize with people way too much. I give them way too much leeway to run all over me, knowing exactly what they're going to do, knowing how I'm going to get treated in the end. But I still will give them the benefit of the doubt most of the time because just that hope, like I hope that they prove me wrong, right? I've never been proved wrong, but I still hope that one day my pessimism doesn't win out. That the way that I'm viewing the earth or in the world and everybody in it, I just hope I'm wrong, right? And but unfortunately, people act like animals half the time, and they don't care about one another at all. And the internet has blown it up out of proportion to where you can't trust anything. There's several things that that I don't understand with that. Like people don't. they get lied to every day. They get, and they fall into this trap of believing it, and they don't even question it. It's, like everybody, they know every single person on this planet lies, right? And we all know this. Like nobody tells the truth 100% of the time. But yet we'll believe, right, something on the internet when we read it, or we'll believe something that when we see on the news 100%, right? I mean, we don't even question it. We believe cops, we believe lawyers, we believe all these people, right? And we know for a fact that they lie. We know they do. They have to. Everybody lies. So it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how people can blindly just be. I guess it's really because of my life and where I'm an addict and where I've been treated so bad because I'm an addict. And before I was even an addict, I was bullied in high school because I was just a nerd. And, and I was small and sickly. So I don't know, maybe that is what framed me to where, I just don't trust people, right? I don't trust people. And, most people don't trust people, that are addicts. Matter of fact, that's one of the rules you don't do is being an addict. You do not trust anybody, and it's really difficult to fix that problem. In your recovery, really is to. It's one of the major problems you can have is trying to trust anybody again. Um, but anyways, what I was wanting to talk to you about perception today, and um, but I can't really figure out how to word it the way I want to word it to where it's going to get through people's brains, and to get them to understand that they really need to be seeing it from all angles. That there's always three sides to a story, right? There's your side, there's the other side, whoever the other person is or whatever it is, and then there's the truth, right? And people love to victimize themselves. Everybody does it. We all love to play the victim. And it's funny because, we act in control of our lives, but yet we'll play the victim card all the time we can. And which means that we're not in control, right? I mean, if somebody takes, we're a victim in a situation, that means we were definitely not in control of that situation. I mean, that's just pure honesty, right? So, anyways, I decided not to really go over that, and then I had trouble trying to figure out what I really wanted to talk about today. So I decided to, since I ain't brought it up, we've been hopping, going from path to path to path. I was going to talk a little bit more about the start of your recovery, uh, detoxing, and when is the best time to detox? Obviously immediately. Don't put it off. If you're having thoughts that you want to be clean, follow through with those thoughts. I mean, don't put them off, because if you're going to put them off, you're just going to either forget about it, or you're not going to be adamant about it when you go do it. You're going to be more inclined not to follow through with your suggestion of the true, the way you should be thinking, right? So you want to do it immediately, and there are several ways to do it. You can do it at home by yourself. You can have other people help you. You can go to a hospital. I've done that quite a few times. There's special places that'll actually detox you out. They'll give you medicine, for what's going on with you, what's going to happen to you. And but the key thing is that while you're detoxing, you need to realize that it's going to end. The pain's definitely going to end. It'll probably scale up for the first 2 or 3 days, and then it'll probably scale down for the next 2 or 3 days. Depending on what you're addicted to, is how your detox will go. I mean, if you're addicted to opiates, that's probably the worst thing you probably can be addicted to. It usually lasts somewhere around 5, 7 days, and you'll be sick to your stomach. You'll have the runs and diarrhea. You'll have probably a bad headache, horrible fever. You'll feel like you'll have the flu all the time. You'll be super weak. Be hard to control your emotions the entire time. It's hard to control your emotions for the first for a few months once you're clean. But definitely during this time, you'll be more angry. You'll be more sad. Um, the key is to stay busy. I know it sucks hearing that, and I know that it's incredibly difficult to do. But if you can stay busy, you're less likely to relapse, right? You're less likely to think about drugs. You're less likely to even do them. And believe it or not, but doing regular work, just chores or exercising or anything you can think of. I mean, just anything is a good way of keeping your mind off of things, right? So, I mean, that's definitely the biggest key that I can give you. Take Tylenol for your headache, your fever, um, Pepto if your stomach's bothering you real bad. Um, Try to get you some sleep, even though it's going to be tough for the first few days. But just don't sit around. Don't sit around. When you're up, have some sort of structure, to your day. Get up, take a shower or whatever, brush your teeth, do all that stuff. Eat breakfast. Make sure you eat, and exercise. Try to stay busy as long as you possibly can, and you have a bedtime every day, right? You need to have this sort of structure, get your body used to living your day like that, and try to keep that, for the rest of your life if you can. But I mean, obviously you can't. Not everybody can do that, but that's the key things that you want to remember. If you're coming off of stuff like cocaine, meth, stuff like that, the detox is really not that bad for those. As a matter of fact, most places even it's really hard to even find a detox center that will take you in for that stuff. It's really crazy that it's so hard to find, but it is. I think that the last time I tried to find one for cocaine, I could find one, and it was an hour and a half away from me, and they took everything, for everybody. But it was the only place in the state that, the only place in the state that, and I had, I was jail ordered to go. So like I had my PO calling and and everything, the judges calling and all this stuff, right? To try to find me a place to go detox, and I could only find one place in the entire state that would take me for cocaine, and that's crazy. That's unbelievable, right? Because even if you're not sick, you're still going to be fidgety. You're going to be super anxious. You're going to have, like I said, problems with all your emotions. You're still going to need that structure for your first few days to help you. You still need something to keep you busy, because if not, you're going to just go straight right back to using again, because that's just what you're used to doing. And so meth lasts a little bit longer than cocaine, but really the big key is is opiates. I mean, that's really the hardest one to go through, is the opiates to go through. If you can't go through detoxing. I mentioned in my earlier video about medications, about Suboxone or Rivotril, all that stuff. In my earlier videos, so check that out. They are a godsend to a lot of people. Um, don't sit on those medicines. I mean, they're not. They're there to help you. They're there to help everybody, and they're way much better off for you, and you can get back to your regular life again, right? So, yeah, don't sleep on those things. If you can't do it by yourself, or you can't find a center to take you, then go find a doctor to write you some medicine. There is definitely nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, it's actually a good thing. There's nothing wrong, nothing bad about it. It's only good. I mean, you can only get better. Just get better, right? That's all people want. That's all you should want, is just to get better. Um, the biggest complaint that I have with rehabs and doctors, since we're talking about them, detox centers, is they don't take the small wins. You see what I'm saying? And because where they're taking and accepting all these different people, and they're all coming off different things, they can't have any drugs, right? They can't have none at all. They have to. Everything has to be done in a certain way, a certain order, their way or the highway, right? And it creates this. Um, I don't know how to say it. It creates this place to where I don't know. It feels like nothing's personal, right? It feels like they're not there for you. They're there, they're for everybody. But it just feels like they're just there to just do their jobs and just go home, And they probably are, right? I mean, you can't blame them for, to not be a friend to everybody. They're not going to be friends to everybody. They're not going to be, hoping the best for everybody. I mean, nobody's going to be that way, right? Um, they should pretend to be that way, obviously, but I think that just honestly makes it worse. It's so there's no personalization in these places, and they don't take the small wins. They don't, and that's something that I have problems with, and that's because the way I did it was, I mean, I got better over time. It wasn't. I didn't just quit everything. I didn't just I couldn't do that, right? I couldn't do that. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. There was no way possible I could just stop and do everything unless I was thrown in jail or I was absolutely made and tie my hands tied. That's the only way I could quit everything. That was it. And but if I was here and I was home where I'm at now, it was 100% guaranteed that I was going to go out and do an opiate if I didn't have medicine for my addiction. And so the first thing what I did was, the opiates was what made me sick the most every single day. Like I went, then as soon as I woke up after 8 hours of sleep or 6 hours or whatever sleep I got, usually it could be even like 3 or 4 hours after you do your opiates, you immediately start detoxing, and you're immediately out for the hunt again, just finding more money to get it stuff. That got so tiring after doing that for 10 years, 10 plus years every day. I mean, it's just you get sick of it, man. You get sick of. I mean, really, I got sick of the people, just dealing with the people, dealing with the drama every single day of it, and it just you had no life. I had no control over my life. The drugs made everything unmanageable, and to the point to where I was just doing what I can just to keep myself from being sick. I was never high, and so what I did was I got medicine for the opiates, right? And started on Suboxone. And like I said before in the other videos, I never looked back after that. I never went back. I'll never touch another opiate again unless I'm absolutely made to in an ER setting or something like that. I'll never want it again. Um, so I started doing Suboxone, but I still was doing cocaine every day. I was either smoking crack or I was shooting up powder every day, to the point to where I was scaring myself. Like I said, I died. I mean, I literally died. Like once I was on Suboxone and I was up for 3 days, and I took a bunch of Klonopins, which is something you definitely shouldn't take while you're on Suboxone, or really you shouldn't ever mix drugs. Period. Right? And just to get some sleep. I wasn't even. It wasn't like I was trying to get high. I was just trying to get some sleep back because I was up for 3 days on cocaine. Right? And so I took those Klonopins, and next thing I know, I had an EMT over top of me in my bedroom, and they told me that I was unresponsive and that, basically they just brought me back to life. Obviously, I thought it felt like I just came out of sleep, and they took me to the ER, and by that time, all the stuff that they gave me to bring me back to life, started going off of me. So then all the Klonopins started hitting me then, and I couldn't even talk. That's how messed up I was. I couldn't even talk because the doctor kept trying to tell me, try to get me clean and stuff. She was trying to talk some sense into me, and I kept saying, "Yeah, I understand," but I couldn't say it because I was so messed up in the closet. And so, you know, that to the point that scared me, right? I didn't want to die. Matter of fact, it wasn't, it was just a few months before that I just started actually wanting to live again, to be honest with you, because, my divorce hit me like a ton of bricks. And, I went probably 5, 6 years just trying to kill myself every day, trying to kill myself. I thought I had this stupid thing in my head thinking now, oh, well, it's not suicide, right? If I accidentally overdose, it's not suicide, you know. Yeah, obviously that's a freaking lie, but it definitely is, right? I did it to myself. I shouldn't have. So yeah, it is. So, but um, some weird coincidences happened, and I just actually started realizing that I had a reason to wake up, which of all the for really stupid reasons, but it was a reason to get up. And I started talking with myself and really my dog, to be honest with you. Started having a conversation with my dog, my guardian angel is what I call him. And that's what made me realize that I wasn't ready to give up yet. And then I died. So like, right after that. So like I wasn't there was no plan in my mind to die or whatever. So that scared the crap out of me, And it wasn't like I didn't believe it for years. I didn't believe that I died for years because that's how much it scared me. Right? I didn't want to believe it. I was like, no, I was just asleep. I was just asleep. I didn't die. I was just asleep. Right? So it took a few years for it to really sink in, the shock of it sinking into me. Like, look, I did. I died. And so, anyways, what I did was I started. First of all, I knew I had to come off cocaine. And so I switched over to meth after that and started bringing myself down on meth to where, I was only doing $10, $20, maybe every couple of days of meth, just enough just to get rid of my anxiety and get rid of my ADHD. Is I was taking it just strictly like a medicine. Every 8 hours, I would do a shot. Every 8 hours, I'd do a shot of it, And so, this is the reason why I'm telling you this is that people want you to quit everything, right? But your goal should be to your end goal should be to get clean, right? It should be your recovery. It should be making yourself better every day. It should be, that should be your end goal, right? That's, if you can't do it all at once, it is perfectly fine. Just, Lord, don't kill yourself, right? Like I did. But it's, start coming down off this stuff slowly. You know what I mean? Anything is a plus in the right direction, right? This is what I was saying before that I don't understand. I get why hospitals do it because they can't have it because they don't know what you're coming off of. They don't know what this person's coming off of, and they can't have anything there, right? And plus, it's against the law. Obviously, you can't have nothing there. But if you're in a home setting, okay, and you're wanting to come off this stuff and you're having trouble to come off, just completely quit everything, come off of it, then why not try to step yourself down? You see what I'm saying? Okay, if you're really wanting this, that's your end goal to be clean, by all means, you should be trying to do less drugs every single day, right? You should be coming down off this stuff every single day. It's going to make your detox better. It's going to make it easier for you to quit in the long run. And it's just going to make you healthier. It's going to make you healthy overall. It blows my mind how people just they're not okay with that. I don't understand it at all. But people aren't. Thankfully, in my case, after I died, um, my parents realized that what they were doing, I think, I don't know, I don't really know what happened, but I just know that my household life became a lot better after that. I don't think it really had anything to do with I died. It was just more, I just think they just noticed that I was actually trying, at that point in time. Like I said, I was depressed before, trying to kill myself every day, and that after a few months before that happened, I decided I wanted to live. So my whole mentality on life was better, right? So I think they realized that I was trying. I wasn't trying to kill myself, and so they started backing off, and people started backing off and letting me do my own thing. And that's when I came to the conclusion like, okay, I can start coming down off everything and just going slow. And I went nice and slow. And it took me several years. It took me several years to come completely off of everything. And so, anyways, this is what I wanted to talk to you about this stuff. I will get the perception episode and it's not the term I want to use, but it's the perspective episode. I will try to figure out how I want to word that because it's definitely something that needs to be needed to say about everybody. Um, Also, I talked it over with my cameraman earlier, and I've been thinking about it. And this is all nothing but serious talk this entire time. And like I've been telling you before, I've been having I'm not all perfect. I've been having mental problems myself, and I feel like I need to do something fun on this channel as well. And since I got clean, I've been starting to go back to my old habits of watching anime and I don't know, just really catching up on stuff that I used to do back then. And I've been clearing out animes that I've been wanting to watch all these years that I've been unable to by chasing drugs. So, anyways, I wanted to start a new show. I'm gonna start a new show on here, new to where I'm gonna talk about anime and what I've been watching. Maybe rate some, um, just to have some sort of contrast with all this seriousness on here, and hopefully, keep because, like I said, when I first started, I wanted to make I was doing it as much for me as I was anybody else. I want to make my mental escape, a place where I want to be up there, right? So, this is a start in that direction. I don't know what day they're going to be on. Right now, I got this coming out on Wednesdays. I don't know what day it's going to be on, but probably soon in a couple of days or something like that. I just want to let y'all know. So, I hope you can look forward to that if you're into that stuff. If you're not, then that's fine with me too. I'm not doing it for that. Anyways, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you later.